Yo, what is good, everyone? Your boy Deke back again with another vid. So for this one, I got some people hitting me up, man, asking me what I think of Mason Rudolph's recent comments about being the starter down the line. Now, I cannot find the interview or the press conference where he made these actual comments. Only found them in print. He did have something up on the Steelers YouTube channel, but that's none of these comments here. It was pretty good, though. I mean, he was answering questions pretty solid. No problem with that at all. I will say this right off the bat. We all know I'm a Big Ben fan. I want him to be at the quarterback in 2022. So that's that. We'll get that out of the way. But if he's, for some reason, decides to retire in 2021, then these comments by Mason are a little more relevant. If Ben comes into 2021, balls out, still is healthy, still wants to play past 2021, he should be the quarterback. So that's my take on that. But like I said, if he wants to retire, he wants to ride off into the sunset, play some golf, that's his decision. So we'll go with that hypothetical then and look into Mason Rudolph's comments. Mason says that this one, at the end of the day, I want to be in Pittsburgh. This is where I was drafted. This is home. This is where I want to continue to play. I love my teammates. I'm glad we've still got a great team and a great roster. Looking forward to competing with this team each and every day. Great comment right there. I don't think anyone could say anything bad about that. Rudolph has drawn mixed reviews as a backup. Didn't play well. He didn't play in 2018. Thrust into more expected action in 2019. He's not satisfied with being Roethlisberger's backup, though. Rudolph wants to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, and with Pittsburgh's aging star on the final year of his contract, Rudolph could very well get that chance sooner rather than later. So here's the quote. I did not see this in the interview, but people have been running with it all day, saying that Mason wants to be the starter in 2022, Mason Rudolph, future Steelers starting quarterback, etc., etc. So here's the quote. That's my goal to being starting quarterback in this league and for our team. I'm working towards that goal every single day. I can only control myself in the way I prepare and the way I approach and play in OTAs and camp, and that's on the forefront of my mind. You know, I'm not worried about 22 or anything like that. I'm trying to live in the moment and be the best I can for my team. And then it goes on to say he has a 2-year contract this year and also in 2022, whereas Josh Jacobs and Dwayne Haskins only have 1-year deals. And then goes on to get a vote of confidence from your team. Still outlook, prove myself every single day. OTA, 7-on-7, blah, blah, blah. Pittsburgh is a place I want to be for a long time. Love the organization. It is home. So these comments, let's get into them real quick. Says everything right. I mean, honestly, how people are running with these comments is kind of ridiculous. One, his goal was to be a starting quarterback in this league. If you are a quarterback in the NFL, I hope that is your goal. That should be everyone's goal. So for Mason to say that, especially since he was a third-round pick, he was already a starter for a season, played pretty well in Week 17 last. Like, that should be his goal. I don't see why that's even that big of a deal. Like, for him to say that, I don't know why that has completely all of a sudden got these headlines going crazy and it's changed everyone's perspective. Yeah, Mason probably wants to be a starting quarterback. And then he goes on to say, I can only control myself while I prepare, play in OTAs and camp. That's on the forefront of my mind. So he's still taking it day by day, doing the best he can day by day, preparing, studying. Okay, perfect. And then he goes on to say, I'm not worried about 22. So it's not like the quote said, I'm gunning for the starting spot in 2022. It's my way or the highway. I'm going to ask to be traded if Ben comes back. He doesn't say that at all. So these quotes are actually really good. I thought he said all the right things in the interview that I did watch. I just did not see him actually say these quotes right here. But, yeah, I don't think these quotes are actually that big of a deal at all in terms of, like, the future quarterback. Is Mason going to be the future or not? He's saying all the right things. That should be his goal, to be the starting quarterback. I do think if Ben retires, he's got 2 things in his way for 2022 and beyond. One is that we have Haskins on the roster. And in my opinion, I think he is the more talented quarterback, but is definitely unproven. Right now, Mason has the upper hand, but if Haskins comes in, he could still outplay Rudolph. He could maybe even outplay him out practice him throughout the season and eventually get that QB2 spot. So he has more competition at this point in his career for QB2 now, which eventually means the starter down the line. And then number 2, he is in what? He's going to be in his 5th year in the league at that point, and he hasn't proven too much. So even if he beats out Haskins, I still think they're going to draft a quarterback or bring in some type of competition for Mason. I don't think they're just going to completely give him the keys. I will say I think he deserves the chance, though. But this is the other downside to it, that look at all the quarterbacks that come out year in and year out. We just had 5 studs that were drafted. I think they were all in the top 15. Mac Jones went 15. All dudes that, Mac Jones might be on the verge of starting. I think they're all going to start this season, and a lot of people are high on these quarterbacks. The players that are coming out year in and year out from college, especially at the quarterback position, just keep getting better and better. So it might be a little bit harder for Mason to just be thrust into that starter role without receiving any competition. And it'll be probably high-quality competition if the Steelers decide to take someone in the draft first round, whether they trade up or not. But yeah, I don't really make too much of these comments. I think he said the right things. Good for Mason. That should be your goal, to be a starting quarterback. I still want Ben to be the starter for 4 more years, so I hope he plays good this year. I expect him to play good. So if Ben does come back, if Mason's main goal to be the starting quarterback, see him saying 2 different things here. One is, I want to be a starting quarterback. That's my goal. I love it in Pittsburgh. This is home. I want it to be for the Steelers. So if Ben comes back and plays for a few more, Mason's at that point in his career, he might have to make a decision whether the Steelers trade him after this offseason or after his deal is up, he's looking for another team. So we'll find out about that, but I think he said all the right things. There was actually really nothing outrageous where he was like, 2022, it's my spot or anything. He's going to have to compete with Haskins for sure. And then if Ben does retire, I do expect the Steelers to take someone in the draft. Unless we bring back Haskins, then it's another open competition between Rudolph and Haskins, because that could be the case. So I think there are a couple barriers in Mason's way, but as of right now, he is the front runner because I think he is QB2 right now. He's young enough, but Haskins has a lot of potential. I think he can turn it around with the Steelers and can give Mason some good competition. And then if Mason does still win the spot at that point, there's more competition coming in the draft and some of the young players that come in and year out. Big Ben, 2024 QB1, that's my take on it. But like I said, if he decides to retire, I laid it out there for you, Mason's road ahead. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Would actually be a pretty interesting conversation. It's been a hot topic kind of all day. So yeah, that's about it. Stay chilling. Peace.